Alright, well, this is not usually the type of video that I'm used to making, but I guess here we are anyway. So, if anyone remembers, like a good like 2 years or so ago, there used to be a sudden surge of animal saving channels. You know, these types of channels that at first glance looks like that they're finding animals in peril and they're saving them. Well, and then couple, a good couple of people here and there pointed out the flaws and realized that these animal animal saving channels are are actually fake and they're not true. They're not real. They're just doing it for the views and the revenue, and it's really scummy, right? And that happened a good 2 years ago. I don't know what happened to most of those channels ever since. I'm pretty sure some of them got banned, but for the most part, it seemed a little bit more quieter. I keep forgetting that this camera's inverted, right? But yeah, most of them got wiped out, and it was pretty quiet. But here we are. There's a new one. There's a fresh new one of these animal saving channels. So, and I'm just gonna no one. This is a fresh new channel, right? This is what 5 days ago. It's the really recent ones. They did another one 3 days ago. I gotta make sure I point this out before they develop any further and do more harm. So there's this YouTube channel, this fresh new YouTube channel that has been circling around. It's called Save Sea Life, right? Which at first glance, when you look at it, you see the name of the channel, and you see the videos that they uploaded, like, oh, a turtle crawls on the beach with thousands of barnacles on its back. It's looking for help. We help it. Blah 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 blah. Right? And the first glance would be like, oh wow, that's excellent. You're saving the turtles. Wow. But if you actually like analyzed it, you realize just how horrible of a human being these people actually are. So first off, right? If you actually watched the video, right, and you see that this supposed sea turtle has arrived on the beach, there's several things wrong. Now, before I continue forward, I need to introduce myself and let people know who I am before I continue talking about this. So for those who haven't watched my channel, my name's Marcel. I pretty much do dinosaur videos. I'm a paleontologist. I just do a bunch of videos of me just, mainly playing video games, but like I perceive my expertise into paleontology. Now, why is that important for here? Well, the thing about paleontology is that we do studies about prehistoric extinct creatures, which means that we are, by default, we are required, sort of required to spiritually, have a sort of interest in animals. You know, it's mainly in the past, but by understanding the past, we also have to understand the present because the present is also part of the past. So think of us as kind of like a ghost of Christmas's past almost. We are kind of we are the forewarning of the consequences of what could happen because we've seen and analyzed what could have happened because we work with extinct creatures. That means I have knowledge on these animals, these turtles, and we have and I've knowledge of the concept of extinction and in return, while this is not necessarily going to cause extinction, it's most definitely going to cause abuse and harm to these animals. So with that being said, these turtles are, you know, there's so many things wrong with this turtle, right? First off, if you actually looked at the video, now I'm not a full expert on turtles. I can't necessarily say every species on the top of my head, but I know enough about evolution to tell you that the difference between freshwater turtles and seawater turtles are a lot more obvious than you think. First off, a seawater turtle, the flippers, you literally have it in your bloody profile picture. That's a sea turtle. A sea turtle has their hands are fused together to form a flipper to propel themselves through the ocean. While these turtles that we see in the videos, their hands are more sprawled out, kind of, like an actual hand. There's maybe a little bit of webbing in between the fingers, but they're definitely way more different than like a completely fused, like stroke through the ocean current type of animal, right? Which means that these turtles are not sea turtles, these are freshwater turtles, and you are forcing them into an environment that they don't live in. The fact that it has so many barnacles on their back. So the way I don't fully understand barnacles, but I did a little enough research. So barnacles are parasitic animals. They're not vertebrates, they're invertebrates, right? They anchor themselves onto hard surfaces and they keep and usually it's just like one or two pieces of barnacle. They don't spontaneously like go all over the place. If they go all over the place, then there's clearly conditions that are wrong going on, right? Which means to tell me that these people did this, put this turtle into such harmful like methods to get like there's no way you could have ever possibly put so many barnacles on this turtle without deliberately manipulating the barnacles to get onto this turtle. And mind you, the barnacles may cause infection, they may cause heavy weighting. It's in lots of ways, excessive amounts of barnacles can actually really hurt these turtles. Another thing to point out, despite the fact that this turtle, right, so you had one video, and this gave them 4.7 million views. That obviously gained much too much attention than you needed to. And then you look at the comments like, oh wow, you're heroes. Oh man, you saved that turtle. And there's only like one or two people in that chat that are actually pointing out that like, hey, wait a minute, this is a freshwater turtle. You just you're just abusing it. But here's the kicker. They make a second video that also just so happened to have a freshwater turtle, that also just so happened to be in the ocean, that also just so happened to have a bunch of barnacles on its back, that just also happens to be looking for help. Another thing that points out red flags is that if you actually looked at their channel, they weren't smart enough to remove their previous videos. They actually had a history of YouTube even before this whole turtle situation. If you actually looked at their channels, they do like a bunch of like chainsaw stuffs. Like it's just chainsaws and mechanics and whatnot. And obviously, clearly, it didn't work out so well for them. The most views, their view count is pretty much similar to my view count, right? Not a whole lot, but a decent, somewhat of an audience, but not an extreme audience. The most they have ever gotten was what, 4,000 views on their chainsaw videos. But then suddenly out of nowhere they come out with this turtle stuff, and then they suddenly rebrand themselves as this magnificent like turtle saving like channel. If you actually look at the hints and clues, you start to realize the real motivation behind these people, and that they probably don't care at all about the turtles, and the turtles were just a manipulative act to gain attraction, and which gets them a lot of views, which gets them a lot of money for their efforts of getting a bunch of views. And it's one of the most scummiest things on earth that you could do, really, right? Now, I'm not the most popular YouTuber, you know. It's not like I have thousands or millions of subscribers, and this video probably might not even go out to like a whole bunch of people. But like, I feel like people need to to know this channel. Like, there's already two videos of this like animal abuse to these turtles, right? And I hate to see it escalate even further. You know, knowing what happened, like apparently with the older animal rescue videos, these fake animal rescue videos, it got really really bad. Like it just baffles me that like I mean the fact that you would like put an animal under so much pressure and stress to the point where like it would in multiple factors you're putting that turtle into harm's way just for the sake of saving it and getting those greedy views. Just it's just sickening. Hopefully they'll stop. No, just report them because this isn't right. You know, don't watch it. Don't watch them stuff. You see, this is now the moral dilemma. If I address it, they inadvertently gain attention by people calling them out, but they still get attention, so they get more revenue, so therefore they're gonna keep doing it. But if I don't point it out, then there's no one calling them out, there's no consequences for them, so they're just gonna keep doing it. So it's a double-edged sword really, right? But like feel like I gotta say something because no one else is saying anything about this. Or, well, to be fair, this is super recent, and I'm just gonna put my foot on it before like it escalates even further. Because two videos already out of this type of stuff, it's not right. It's not right. But yeah, like hopefully they'll stop. Maybe it won't. Maybe my video won't even make an impact. Who knows? So yeah, that's all I have to really say about this situation. You know, I've figured, you know, I might as well start addressing it. But yeah, but in a more lighter hot tone, you know, if you want to stick around, you know, I do paleontology stuff, so I play games and talk about dinosaurs and stuff, you know. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, that's you know, stick around if you wanted to. But like I just wanted to yeah, make sure this stops before it escalates even further. Yeah, because this is just the beginning, I feel. But yeah, anyways, have a good day, everyone.